सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay, so chapter 3, chapter 4. Hmm? 24th, no? Chapter 4, 24.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah, that Brahma Arpanam we saw last time, correct? Yeah. So, okay. So, I think that is pretty clear. It's indicative of the mindset of a person who knows the truth. Okay. There is nothing separate from Brahman in whatever you are doing. Okay. Now, he has used the highest karma available at that time, the Vedic karma. But the same thing can be said of anything. In fact, I remember reading a martial arts book where they had mentioned the eater and the eaten is the same. Okay. The eater and the eaten is the same. That means the experiencer and the experience is the same. The same thing. Okay. So it depends on with what focus you are seeing it. Once you know the truth, it's all the same. It is the truth. That's it. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing separate from the truth. Then the question comes up. Okay. Where you worship on all the different devatas. See, this is the idea. The Purva Paksha is something like, or the doubt is something like this. All there is one Brahman. That Brahman manifests in the cosmic thing is Ishvara, Bhagavan, whatever you want to call it. See the direct connection over here? Why are you all having 101 devatas? What 101? Thousands of devatas, why are you having? Okay. Why are you worshipping that? That's a natural question that can come up because look at Hinduism. You will come across devatas that you never heard before. You go to some village and this thing, that thing, suddenly you will find a new invocation. कभी पहला देखा ही नहीं. Like I was doing some work in the tribal areas of Gujarat Maharashtra border area, and I came across a devata, Vagoba. It's a Devi actually, Vagoba, the one who's riding the tiger. So actually Durga, but they're invoking it as Vagoba.
We have Gaudevis.
Gamdevis, yeah. In Bombay we have some 4 or 5 Gamdevis. So why are we invoking all that? Okay. Consciously why are we invoking? So he says, okay. Devam eva apare yajnam yoginaha paryupasate brahmarno apare yajnam yajneneva upajupati. He says there are hundreds of ways of invoking. Okay. Because two things. You invoke according to your need. You invoke according to what is in your psyche. You invoke according to what you can relate to. Okay. So what's your need? See, you may say ultimately, oh, it's all moksha. Yeah, fine. It's moksha. You all want moksha, no? Huh? What else? What else? समझिए, nothing else. Nothing else. चलो ऋषिकेश आ जाओ. समझिए, this work is there, that work is there. Then don't say nothing else. You need other things along with moksha. You have other priorities in life. Accept that. Nothing wrong in it. As a human being, you will have other priorities. So accept that, deal with it. Now what is your worship? Now what is the worship you are going to do? Now it will become need-based. And rightfully so. Yeah. Rightfully so. I'm not well, I'm this thing, okay. Then you invoke Dhanvantri, you invoke Shiva as Vishakaha, you invoke Vishnu as Dhanvantri, because you're not well, you need healing. Can you say, no, I don't need healing, I need only moksha?
Sorry.
Huh? Yeah.
Sorry.
You can't say, I don't need healing, I need only moksha. Can you say that? Yeah. Because if you're going to say that, you will not be well enough to study for moksha. So you need other things. Or you're in debt. What moksha are you going to think about? You're worried about the bills that are piling up, the debt collectors that are coming, that are phoning up every day. You have to take care of that. No? So take care of it, you do what you can, plus invoke the Lord. You enhance your worldly karma by your spiritual karma, by your religious karma. So your religious worship is meant to enhance your worldly karma, not replace it. Okay? Not replace it. Yeah. I was remember my old joke, no? The guy was a poor man. He goes and says, Lord, I'm a poor man. I have so much of things to do. I don't know how to get money. This month's lottery ticket, at least let me get. The month came, went, the lottery ticket, date came, went, nothing. Second month, same prayer, same happening. Third month, same prayer. Fourth month, Lord, this is Diwali bumper, please. And suddenly a voice was heard. Idiot, go and buy that goddamn ticket. Minimum karma. Minimum karma. I'm not advocating buying lottery tickets, that's not what I'm doing. But the idea is your prayers, etc., are meant to enhance your worldly karma. Do what you can, then pray. Exactly. It will enhance it. Not meant as replacement. Sometimes it becomes replacement when there is no other thing you can do. Then it is okay to do only that. Okay? Yeah. When there is nothing else possible for you to do, then only prayer, fair enough. Okay? Yeah. Alright. Therefore here he says, Devam eva apare yajnam yoginaha paryupasate. Okay? Apare yajnam, yoginaha, karma yoginaha, various forms they will invoke according to their needs. Okay? Brahma agno apare yajnam yajnena eva upajupyati. Whereas those who are only after the truth and nothing else, for them the offering and the thing is nothing but Brahman itself. They offer themselves into the fire of knowledge, he says, They are offering themselves into the fire of knowledge. Meaning, your ideas, your notions, your conclusions, your identities, everything is burnt in the fire of knowledge. After that, you just address you wear. Your identity is only a dress you wear. Your this is only a dress you wear. Yeah, just a role. Why? Because you are still functioning in the society, therefore you are playing the role. If you are not functioning in the society, what role are you to play? Therefore, the other forms of invocation, etc., comes into the question because you need them to grow, you need them to manage your life, you need them to know the truth. It's not directly connected to the truth, but it's indirectly connected. So, because a human being is multi-dimensional, you don't play only one role in life, no? You are multi-dimensional as a person. And since you are multi-dimensional as a person, there is more than one need you have. Agreed. From the standpoint of the reality, all these are just wrong identities. Are you ready to accept them and forget about everything else? If you are burning your boats, take sannyasa, aa jao, Rishikesh. But then after that, don't come and crib. Oh, Rishikesh can get so hot. The next month, those who are going to be in a camp. Now there is one camp going on, okay? After our camp, the next camp started on 27th. It will get over today. Must have got over today. The next camp that starts after that. Okay? Start after 2-3 days. You'll be able to fry eggs on the rocks outside. Maja aayega. Don't crib.
Literally, you have to burn yourself in the knowledge.
Yeah. So don't crib. If you say you want moksha and nothing else, then don't crib about the weather. It's going to be hot at Rishikesh. Yeah? What is it? Summer will be hot, winter will be freezing, rainy season will be flooded out, malarial after the rains until winter starts. And living there is tapas. Correct. I've got so much of studies to do. 2-3 lectures in the morning, afternoon, evening, everything. Kya hai? You said you wanted nothing else, na? Swamiji, I can take it 3 days, 7 days at a time, not more than that. Good. That's good. There's a recognition of what you can do or what you can't do. That's perfectly fine. You know, there is this old movie. Okay, the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Many of you would have seen that, where that young boy goes to join the Shaolin temple. What is the highest chamber? I'm going to start with that. So, highest chamber, people are sitting, meditating, chanting, etc. And he enters his master, he just waves, that guy goes flying. What was that? That is Kung Fu. I am not ready to start there. I will start one step lower. Finally, what? He starts with physical fitness. You start from where you are. Start from where you are. Yeah. Condition your body first. Yeah. Start where you are. Similarly here, condition your mind first. Develop viveka, vairagya, shat sampatti, etc. Then you say, if I want to take it up full time, take care of your priorities. I have known people, even in our parampara, walking out without taking care of their priorities. You know, I know this guy who did that, dumped his mother on his wife and walked out to take sannyas as great vairagi and all. And some idiot gave him sannyas also, not my guru, someone else gave him. Total flop. As a person, as a teacher, he is not ready for it. Just take it up. He's struggling. Yeah, the guy is struggling. Yeah, because trying to jump, in English there is a statement, don't try to run before you learn to walk. Same way. Yeah. So same way here. If you are ready, then all you have to do is only learn, nothing else. Otherwise, you pursue the learning along with everything else in life. That's Karma Yoga lifestyle. You have other things to take care of, you take care of them. That's a wealthy way. That will ensure your growth, your mental readiness to know the truth. Okay. Then he is telling what all various forms of worship can be done. Not necessarily in a temple or a yajna-shala. Okay, not necessarily in a temple or a yajna-shala. Okay. The highest worship, he said, was offering yourself to the fire of knowledge. Your identities, your ahankara, your this notions about yourself, everything is burnt up in the fire of knowledge. All there is only one Brahman at the end of it. Okay? Otherwise what? Here. Shotradin indriyani anye samyama agnishu juhvati shabdadin vishayan anye indriyagnishu juhyati. Okay. Kshotradi Indriyani, all your sense organs. What are you offering the sense organs to? Samyamagnihi, mastery. Are you getting a mastery of your sense organs? What do you want to see, hear, etc.? See here, I can't remain without my phone. I even take it to the bathroom. All of us do, isn't it? अभी बाथरूम में 10 मिनट बैठते हैं भाई, waste that time, look at what messages are there. In fact, there is a joke. If there are 3 bathrooms in the house and you want to go and all the bathrooms are occupied, how do you ensure that people come out fast? Turn off the Wi-Fi. Not the Wi-Fi, people will come out fast. Samyamagnihi, that control, that mastery. I mean, this is a tool for this is an instrument meant for my convenience. I am not supposed to be addicted to a tool. What are you doing? Why do you have to respond to every message immediately? But if it is important, the guy will call you, na? If it's really important, will the guy not call you? In fact, turn off all the notifications. Anyway, you will know there is a message come. It will be marked. A notification, that alert, immediately you will pick up the phone, whatever you are doing. Revade, revade. Half the messages are forwarded anyway. How many of them are really important messages? Tell me. 1%, 2%, 5%. Okay, Baba, you are a very important person. Every hour, keep 5 minutes for seeing messages. It's excessive. So, it says that Samyama Agni, the ability to master your sense organ, you choose what you are going to expose yourself to. Choose the type of music you would like to hear, choose the type of things you would like to do. A certain mastery. Do what is important to you. Is it really important? Swamiji, if I think like that, I'll get off from the social media. If the social media is not important for you, get off it. Swamiji, but you are also there. Yeah, I'm there on Facebook. How often do you see me posting? Once in 3-4 months. When I have something to say. Yeah. Like after the camp, there were some postings. Now probably before the next camp, I'll post. I say the camp. Or Ram Navami, I may post what's happening in Shankaramata. It's interesting. That's it. Samyamagnishu. So this becomes a worship, he says. This becomes another form of worship. Shabdadin Vishiyanyani Indriyagnishu Jukhati. Now we are looking at the other way around. Every sense organ receives something. No? Sound, sight, smell, taste. Consider all these things as offering to Ishvara. Antaryami, the Ishvara that is manifest in your heart as I. It's only attitudinal, no? It's purely an attitude, no? So the act of eating food becomes a worship. The act of seeing a movie becomes a worship. The act of hearing a song becomes a worship. So what are you doing? You are converting everything which is normally done by you into a worship because of the worshipful attitude. That means what? What he's talking about here is having a worshipful attitude in life. It is not the worship per se. The attitude that everything is sacred. attitude that everything is sacred. So what will you offer to the Lord when you're eating? What you think is good to eat? Na? I was today morning a couple, a relative of mine, couple came. So I said, hey, cup of coffee, this, that, etc. No, we just had coffee, etc. I said, what would you like to eat? What kachara do you have? Because my husband is not well, my diet is so strict now. I am having a diabetic, heart-friendly diet along with my husband. So I have not eaten junk for months. Give me something junk. I said, unfortunately, there's one thing you won't find in my place. The closest you will come to junk will be some tilka laddu or something. Oh, that's not junk. No, it's not junk. Then for prasad, some chiuda was there. Shankar Matam gave some chiuda as prasad, one pack. So that was there. Thank God. This is I never eaten this for 3 months. Not eaten anything like this. Are you getting the idea? Hey, you will not offer kachara to the Lord, will you? You offer something healthy. You offer automatically things are taken care of. Once in a way you can offer pani puri also, doesn't matter. Bombay. Once in a way Ishvara also will like all that, okay? Keep it once in a way, okay? That's how it is. Everything is sacred, but then you look at it as sacred. Can you look at that as sacred? No, then don't offer. I can look at it as sacred, then offer. Simple. Funny thing happened. True story, okay? My niece, second niece, highly psychic. She'll get all these messages from Ganesha, this, that, etc. And we have verified it, messages are true. Because if the content of the message is true, you can make out the source is true. She's very psychic. Purva Janma, she was training to be a high priestess in previous lifetime. We shared a lifetime together 1000 years ago in the Mediterranean. So this girl is like that. So once I went to my sister's house to see my mom after my class. I used to do that when mom used to stay with my sister, so drop in. So that time they're just doing their evening puja. So oh my God, I don't have any prasad to offer Bhagwan. There's the Ganesha there. So I said, well, I have some rum chocolates in my bag. Oh my God, no, we won't offer rum. My sister said that, don't offer rum. I said, okay. Then I go home and offer. Bhagwan takes everything from me, not a problem. Okay. And suddenly my niece got a message, Mama, Ganesha is saying offer those rum chocolates to me. I said, Dekha. If you can eat, you can offer. If you think it is good enough for you to eat, you offer.
In Navratri, at least in our family, there was a tradition to offer meat also.
Yeah, I know. There are some forms of worship.
It was surprising and confusing to me.
Why? Why?
Non-veg to that.
Why not? There is nothing that is not sacred. Though normally we will not, because we say, I don't want to kill a life and offer. That's why. So normally we won't offer because of that. Have you seen a group of Indians, especially more towards village life Indians, sitting down for a drink?
They offer something.
They'll do a few chilkas. Why? Offering to the Lord. Yeah. Everything is. The idea is what? Make everything sacred, therefore you don't end up in abusing anything. It has to follow through that you end up abusing nothing. Because if you sanctify it, then you are not going to abuse it. No? Your whole attitude is one of sacredness. So even if it is drink, you'll have a drink or two and say enough. You don't abuse it. So the whole idea is that, okay? Therefore, this, you have a worshipful attitude, an attitude that everything is worshipful. That is more important than the worship itself. If that worshipful attitude is there, then everything is worshipful. Your life becomes a worship. Okay. Then sarvani indriya karmani prana karmani cha pare atma samyam yogagnau juhati jnana deepite. Atma samyoga agnau, in the fire of self-mastery. The fire of self-mastery, jnana deepite, that is lighted by this knowledge. That means you are also studying. Your studies are not complete, but you started at jnana deepite, that mastery. In that, what happens? Sarvani indriya karmani. All your karmas by your indriyas and prana karmani and prana offer to the self-mastery. That means what? Again, whatever activities will you do? Those which are important to you. What is important to you? How do you decide what is important and what is not important? With your sense of priorities, isn't it? If you are living by your priorities, do I need to tell you, don't waste your time? You are living by your priorities. What is wasting time? Wasting time is when you are doing things outside the priorities. So we need something for relaxation. No? Genuine relaxation is an important part of your life because it's an important part of health. What's happened? Suddenly something is coming. Okay. So it's an important part of your life. Genuine relaxation is an important part of your life. So do things that will make you genuinely relaxed. Whatever that makes you, do it. Because part of your health. That doesn't mean sitting for 5 hours in front of the TV scrolling up and down, or 5 hours and with your phone. That is not relaxation. That is addictive behavior. Exception made if you are watching an India-Pakistan match. Believe me, I won't spend that much of time. People are watching the match, I will do other things and then come back and make a peep. Okay, what happened? Okay, we are getting hammered. Good. We'll go back. Do other things and then come back. So, whatever is important to you, what is important is decided by your priorities. I told you about my cousin, no? Who will not watch the TV serials, but when the advertisement comes on, he is watching them. Why? He runs an advertising agency in Colombo, Sri Lanka. So for him, knowing what the competition is doing is important. It's a professional thing for him. So it's ulta. We watch the serials and go for a drink of water or something in between. He does the other way around. He watches the advertisements. Because it's important to him. Who is to decide what is your activity? What is important? That depends on your priority. Your work comes from your priority. No? So, to focus it that way, then everything becomes fine. Your life becomes one of self-mastery. Then you are an achiever, you are not wasting time. Remember, priorities and interests are two different things. You may be interested in everything, including what the neighbor's children are doing. That interest is not priority, it is interest. Okay. Therefore, sarvani indriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma samyoga agno juhati jnana deepati. So in the fire of knowledge, which is kindled by this knowledge, in that, so with this knowledge in view, when you are living a life of priorities, that itself becomes a worship. Can you see what he is doing? You are bringing that worshipful attitude into everything. Okay. Then now he is coming down to more. See, this is the higher levels of practice that is there, of worship. Then he is coming to more simpler, practical things in the next verse. Dravya yajnaha tapo yajnaha yoga yajnastata pare swadhyaya yajna yajnascha yataha samshita vrataha. Dravya yajnaha. Okay. Dravya yajna can be interpreted in two ways. One, with dravyas you are doing a proper yaga with different offerings. Like Chaitra Navaratri, from last Sunday onwards, Shankara Mata has been having huge homas and yajnas. Dravya yajna. Or you share what you have with others. It's an offering. Sharing what you have, Dravya yajna. Why? The receiver is Narayana, the giver is Narayana. The giver thinks the receiver is Narayana. The receiver feels the giver is Narayana. No beggarliness. Okay. No beggarliness. No pride or arrogance. I am sharing what I can. Dravya yajna. Tapo yajna. Tapas itself becomes a yajna. So what is tapas? Doing anything which is normally considered a difficult or an uncomfortable activity. Offering it to the Lord and being comfortable in it. Become tapas. So as I said, living in Rishikesh can be tapas. Why? Winter you are freezing. And you only have one shawl. My first winter there, I had one cotton jacket. Oh, it's so cold. Cold, eh? So, you don't feel cold? Of course you feel cold. But yeah, you put up. You take it in your stride. Tapas. Summer it is hot, of course it is hot. Power goes off, it goes off. Fan is not there, not there. AC, don't even talk. What AC are you talking about? Fan goes off because power is not there for 4 hours, 5 hours. So you know. How do you sleep in the night? Sleep on the floor. Wet some dhotis and hang it around if you want to. But they'll make it hot and humid also. Correct? So after 2 nights of not sleeping, 3rd night you will get sleep. So what is the problem? 3rd night if you got sleep, 4th night also you will get sleep because now you are used to it. Tapas. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. You are too comfort oriented. Like until last Sunday, Islamic people were following a big tapas. Whole day don't eat, not even water. Now that is tough. If you are really following it, is tough. The only problem is the night they flip it around and make it a problem. Too much of food in the night. You break fast in the evening with fruits and dates, very good. Then you have your dinner, excellent. Then you have something light in the morning, fine. But they'll have it throughout the night. So then the tapas goes off. Why? रात को खाओ पियो, दिन को आराम करो, Bombay से आया मेरा दोस्त. Remember that old song? It becomes like that then. Then the tapas factor goes out. Yeah. Tapas factor goes out. But tapas is, yeah, like our classical Ekadashi fast. Every Ekadashi you fast. So previous night you had dinner, then that whole day you are fasting. When are you breaking it? Some people break it in the evening. Actually, break it next morning with breakfast. So 36 hours you are fasted. Excellent. Autophagy, etc. will happen. Health will be maintained. You won't have problems of cancer, etc. 36 hours fast. Every 2 weeks you are doing once. Tapas. Because the body is used to food every 4 hours. No? So, anything and everything is a tapas. So, I look at it like stepping out of your comfort zone. You have a comfort zone, step out of it. And be comfortable about it. And then you... So people ask me, how come you are walking in the hot sun in the... I said, I had to go to the bank, I had some work. They wanted some KYC details. But the hot sun, yeah, people go for moonlight walks. I go for moonlight walks. That's how you will fall in. You know, this toughness has come out of tapas. Maintaining it is easy. I just have to do these things like this once in a way. If I lose it at my age, I won't be able to build it up again. Who wants to lose it? Yeah, I mean, it took all your tapas got you to a certain level of toughness. You want to lose it? If you have to lose it, you lose. That's a different thing. You can let go. But are you going to lose it because now you're getting comfort oriented? Not worth it. So that is tapas. A life where you can take all discomforts and make it comfortable. Yeah. That is tapas. Tapo yajna. Yoga yajna. You can practice yoga as a form of worship. Now this part of it is a little bit lost in India, you know. Now we look at a pose and we will say, use an English name, downward dog. Actually, Adhomukha Shvanasana. Why don't you use the Sanskrit name? Downward dog. And each pose had a devata and a meditation on it. They had a particular attitude. And there's a... No, please don't quote me. Normally the Santa Cruz schools talk about these 5, their own Kapola Kalpitam. There's no Shastric justification for any of what they are saying. Okay? I'm calling it out right here, okay? Yeah. But each pose had it. And a contemplation on it. If you do it like that, your yoga asanas becomes a worship. Now you're doing it like exercise. Then become like calisthenics. It'll take care of your health, all right. That much benefit you will gain. But what it's supposed to do in helping you move toward dhyana will not happen. That will not happen. Therefore, if you are following the Ashtanga Yoga, say Ashtanga Yoga will be a problem. So the Patabi Joy school that comes from Mysore is called Ashtanga Yoga. That becomes another school. No, all yoga was supposed to be having 8-fold aspects. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, like that up to Samadhi. If you are following it like that, then that becomes a worship. Because each asana, a deity is invoked. You are holding it for a few minutes. No. Contemplating on the deity, contemplating on yourself, making the whole thing a meditative exercise. Because even in modern class, what do they do? Once you hold a pose, now watch what is happening in your body, you know? Do they not say that? I don't know what class it is. It's not a yoga class. Watch what is happening means what? Witness it. You are witnessing the body. That's foundation for meditation. Therefore, yoga yajna. Tata apare, others do this. Okay. Swadhyaya yajna. If you go to a typical Brahmanical setup, you will find this. Every morning they will be chanting their own Veda. There's a vidhi there, so Vedo adhyetavyaha. Your own Veda, you are supposed to learn how to chant it. So the chanting itself becomes a discipline, a form of worship. You chant the Veda. The whole Veda you can't chant. Okay, you'll take the Rudram and chant. Or you'll do the Purusha Suktam and chant. Small. Purusha Suktam, Meda Suktam, like that, 2-3 Suktams you will chant. So that's Swadhyaya. Another form of worship. Where is the Murti, etc.? Murti, Ishvara is a Murti. What Murti are you looking for? What Murti are you looking for? There is no Murti other than Ishvara, the cosmic form. Swadhyaya Yajna. Jnana Yajna. The study is also a worship. Vedanta study more so. Why? In a puja or a havan or a homa, you are offering worship to the form of the Lord. In studying Vedanta, you are offering worship to the Swarupa of the Lord, to his true nature. Vangmayi puja. So who said Vedantins don't have bhakti in them? You surrender to the Lord and you teach. The Lord speaks through you. The parampara speaks through you. Therefore, jnana yajna, yatayaha, samshita vrataha. All these are yatayaha. Yataya can mean sadhus. Yataya actually meaning is yatna shilavan. The one who is capable of putting in appropriate, adequate effort to know the truth. Appropriate, adequate effort. That person is a yati. So those yatis, okay, with what? Samshita vrataha. Samshita vrataha. They may have various disciplines, rules, regulations for it. Okay, I will do swadhyaya after getting up in the morning, having a bath, this, that, etc. My sandhya vandanam, then I am going to do my swadhyaya. That's one vrata they follow. Okay, so people can have various disciplines. Okay, various rules, regulations. Each form of worship has it. Even yogasana, you are supposed to do it after a bath. Okay, but nowadays people do yogasana, sweat and come back and oh, I worked up a sweat. Now I'll have a shower. Reva de. It's all changing society. Okay, Kali ki prabhav hai. I'm just saying what is to be done and not done. Up to people what they want to do. Okay. So, can you see what he is saying here? The whole life can be a worship. If you have a worshipful attitude, if that thing that you are doing is an offering to the Lord and inspires you to be a better person, that's worship. What is it you are offering? We offered our martial arts to Ishvara. Even now, on Durga Puja day in South, Kalari schools, very important day. Why? Goddess is invoked in the Ayudha, in the Shastras, in the sword and the spear. And the worship is what? The sword play, the clang of steel on steel. That's the worship. That's offered to the goddess. Yeah? The worship. Anything is a worship. Everything can be a worship. This I understood only when I started teaching the Gita. I used to always joke. Before coming to Vedanta, I had not even thrown a flower at the Lord. That is true. I have not thrown a flower at the Lord. That is true. But the discipline of steel was there with me. A sweat and blood and tears we offer to the Lord. You think offering martial arts to the Lord is easy? Doing a puja is easy. All fragrance, nice, feeling holy, you know. Yeah. Go have that sword play. And when the opponent gets through and nicks you, only nicks you, you will understand what it is. Few drops of blood only, na. Thoda hi ekla de. What's the big deal about it? Or you got whacked by the bow, the stick. You got a couple of whacks. It's offering to the Lord, yeah. Come on. That pain is prasada. That pain is prasada. You know the story of Arjuna, no? He was worshipping Shiva to get divine astras from the Lord. And Shiva, to test him, comes in the form of hunter. And there is a wild boar running across. Both the hunter and Arjuna shoots at it. And the boar falls dead. Now there is a fight. Whom does the boar belong to? It is not resolved by logic and reason, they start fighting. Suddenly in the midst of the fight, Arjuna realizes, hey, I am not fighting an ordinary person, this is Kirataka. Lord Shiva come in the form of a hunter. Kirata Murti. There's a Kirata Ashtakam also. So he falls down to the Lord's feet and begs forgiveness for shooting arrows at him. And Shiva laughs and says, you worship me in the best way you knew. You worship me in the best way you knew. Why? That's the best thing Arjuna could do. The art of war. He could do other things also. He was a very sensitive person. Yeah. Dance, music, everything he had with him. Dance I can understand. If you are a warrior, you'll have good footwork. So that I can understand. He had that. Yeah. So he says, so that's the worship. The Lord accepts that worship. So anything and everything becomes a worship. Depends on your attitude. Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi makes everything a worship. What life is transformed. What separate sadhana you want? Tell me, what separate sadhana you want? I mean, I can give you a japa, etc. to supplement it. But really speaking, what sadhana you want? Samji, my boss is a pain. Prasada buddhi. Everyone should work under a painful boss, at least once in his lifetime, to understand what type of a boss never to be. But sometimes some bosses are pain, but they teach you how to perform. So that way, that part is very good. That part is very good. So, prasada. In fact, in Zen we say this, the good student thrives under the master's discipline. The poor student wilts away. Because Zen is always connected with martial arts. That's why I am saying this. Wilts away because he can't handle it. Can't handle it. Start cribbing about it. So the idea is, what are you growing in your life? Do you have that worshipful attitude to convert everything you do into a worship? If you can do that, anything is a worship. Now, you may feel more in one area or less in another area. That's why he's giving you various things. Yoga yajna, tapo yajna, japa yajna, this, that. Here, what do you feel more about? You decide. For me, more than doing a puja, in my personally, it is seva. That's me. You know, you show, I'm making you all understand this, that's why I'm digressing a bit, okay? You show Hanuman, that clappers in his hand and saying Ram, Ram, Jaya, Jaya, Ram. Tell me, was that what really Hanuman was? You really remember him that way? Or you remember him as Ramaduta? The one who struck terror into the heart of the Rakshasas in Lanka. What was that if not seva? He could have finished the story there itself. He tells Sita, no? Amma, climb on my back. I will take you back to Rama right away. But Sita knows what Rama is meant to do. He is meant to destroy the headquarters. So he has to come here and destroy them. I am the bait for that. And Hanumanji also understands that. He says, yes, I'll go and bring them back. But before I go, let me put some fear into the hearts of my enemies. Fear is a very useful tool to have. But for that you must be unafraid yourself. Okay. Or at least have learned to handle your own fears. So what is that? Seva or what? He was not going around singing Rama, 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 Rama. Seva. Oh, Hindi movies will show Jai Shri Ram. Okay, okay. Where Valmiki says he thought of Rama and he flew ahead, that's it. You know, war cry express, you know, left his lips. So a war cry life is also fine. That's part of the thing. So, the whole attitude, what is it that you feel most worshipful in for you? Pick up an activity. There are more, we will see that more also. Pick up something where you will feel that with this I can worship the Lord. Use the traditional puja, please stick to that. Okay, I have nothing against this traditional puja, I am all for it. But pick whatever you feel. Being with nature, being with this, but something that you can do on a regular basis, that's important. Swamiji, going into the Himalayas, how often will you do? Going in the Himalayas? Once a year? Twice a year? Not more than that, no? We are talking about something on a regular basis. What can you do on a regular basis? What is it? You decide, no? What you feel that this attitude or this functioning makes me remember the Lord and I can use it as an offering to the Lord. What is it that each one of you feel? I mean, for me there were 2-3 things. One was Guru Seva, other was my martial art disciplines. So, these 2 things are very high. Study, of course, very important. Every day I would spend some time with this study. Every day. So, these are the 3 things that were there in my life. Now, your life, you decide what is it. Fond of yoga, fond of this thing, fond of cooking. Make cooking your offering. In fact, traditionally ladies used to do that. Now, we don't taste. No? Look at traditional cooking. They will never taste the food. And they will make it perfectly. They never taste it. Why? It's offered to my Lord. I am offering it to my Lord. How can I taste it? Juta kaise khilayega? Shabari story is an Arthavada. Okay? By the way, Valmiki doesn't say that. That she ate the fruit and gave it to Rama. Valmiki mein nahi hai. It is some bhakti literature that has come later. So, the idea is that. So, all ladies would do that. Without tasting the food, they would make it perfectly and offer to the Lord before you eat it. Great. Nowadays, we don't have time for cooking. The maid does the cooking. Alright, so something else. What is it? What is it that you feel sacred about? There has to be a certain sense of sacredness. That's important. A certain sense of sacredness has to be there. What makes you feel like that? Yoga practice, fine. Pranayama practice, fine. That also comes in later. How you will convert the same pranayama into a worship. What does... That's what I want you all to think about. Before the next class, where we go into more activity oriented, this thing. Think what activity you can make it feel sacred. Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
So actually this question was related to the previous class.
Yeah.
You're clarifying a gentleman's doubt who was, I think, in the same room as you. He was in the room about Jiveshvara Aikya. In that, you had said that something to the effect of that if you identify yourself as the jiva and then you have to dissociate from the jiva and then associate with the Paramatma, Jivatma, Paramatma.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to understand, is it that if one does inquiry about the jiva without the Shastra, that could lead to dissociation,
Yes.
but with Shastra, it actually leads to understanding the limitlessness.
Because see, if you say I'm different,
Yes.
that is dissociative. But when you say I am independent, that is dependent.
Yes.
I am independent of the body, body is dependent on me. Then that
Yes.
dissociation is not there.
Yes.
Whereas when I say I am not the body and trying to keep it at a distance, you can have the dissociation.
Okay.
That's where the psychological issue can come out.
And that could happen if you inquire without the Shastra.
Without the
If you
Shastra
could-
on your own, yeah, people do that.
Okay.
Without understanding Satyam Mithya,
Hmm.
then the whole thing can come out. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So think about this, okay? And next class we'll see more varieties of stuff which will help you discover what is sacred for you. Okay? Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.